If you're out on the road,
feeling like you want a podcast, all you have to do is type in Drunk of the Book, and you'll find us
where you lead, we will be there.
Anywhere that you want us to. Hey, Olivia.
Hey, Ashley.
Welcome to Drunk of the Book Club,
a podcast for lonely, drunk bookcasters.
Yes.
I forgot the order of things.
Cheers!
Cheers! Ding, ding, ding.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Merlot by Bogle.
Oh.
Or Bogle. I don't know how to say it.
I think it's Bogle.
By Bogle.
I don't know, actually.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a cerveza. Estrella Jalisco.
Ooh.
I don't really know where this was bought. Like, if this is a Safeway or a Trader Joe's. I have no idea.
Yeah. Is it from Jalisco?
I don't know. It's basically probably made by the same people as Corona. Like, it looks just like Corona. It is a product of Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So.
There you go.
Legit.
Fun. Is it tasty?
Yeah, it tastes like a Corona.
Nice. Okay. Great.
Which is very refreshing. And I just spilled it.
Yeah.
And I have a little bit of it on my pants now, but that's okay.
Oh, yum. It's a treat for later.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Just suck it from the jeans.
Yeah, just slurp it up.
So gross. Anyway, so what did we read?
We read Difficult Women by Roxane Gay. Our second Roxane Gay book.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had Hunger too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What was it about?
Well, it was a collection of short stories, fiction, which actually, when I started reading, I didn't know it was fiction, so I got confused in the first story.
I did too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh my god. Yeah, so it's a collection of short fictional stories about women protagonists, and it's like kind of intense.
Yeah.
Like a lot of issues of like sexuality and sexism and power and trauma and just a lot. It was pretty. There were some real intense stories in here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, there's one I couldn't read. The one where the kid gets hit by a car. She's dating a man. She's married to a man, dating a different man. And the man that she's dating, his wife or his girlfriend or baby mama just hands a baby over to her.
Oh, yeah.
I got to the part where I was like, what is happening? Why is she married and with this other man?
Oh.
And then I got to the part where her kid dies and I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
I tried to refresh a little bit before we recorded tonight too, and I tried to do it again and I couldn't do it. So that one I will not be able to discuss, unfortunately.
There was definitely like a lot about motherhood and miscarriages and like pregnancy and death and
there's not a single pregnancy in this book that comes to term.
Yeah.
They're all miscarriages. There's a lot of twins.
Well, no, because that was a kid who died. So that was the one,
true.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's true. There's a lot of twins. There's a lot of mining people. I was going to say minors, but I don't want that to be confused with minors. Minors.
There were some minors, too.
There are minors, too. There's a lot of the same things. Miscarriages, minors,
There's a lot
twins.
of repetition. And there was definitely some somewhat fairy tale-esque, fantastical, but not always, not so blatant sometimes. Sometimes it would come out of nowhere and you'd be like, oh, okay, there's some fantastical stuff happening in here.
I'm not gonna lie, the first time, I don't remember what the first story is that has an element of that, but it made me rethink everything I had read. Because I was like, wait, is everything a fantastical story? And I was like, wait, no, okay, not everything is. But I was like, am I taking this all too literally, or what's going on?
That was, it was, because, I'm thinking of another short story collection that I really love, by, I think her name's, Kelly Link or something. That is a lot of kind of, fantastical stuff, but all of the stories are sort of fantastical, so you're expecting it. But this one, it's, here and there, so it's a little bit, jarring at times. Yeah. And I saw in the back that their Los Angeles Times blurb was there's a distinct echo of Angela Carter or Helen Oyeyemi, which that clued me in when I started it. I freaking love that collection by Angela Carter. That fairy tale retelling collection, I forget what it's called, The Bloody Chamber. Love that one. And then, of course, we read Helen Oyeyemi a long time ago, The Boy Snow Bird. So that clued me in. But I read that after I started the first story and thought I don't know why. In my head, I think because Hunger was nonfiction, I thought this was nonfiction.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I had the same thing, and I was like, wait. Oh, what's happening? You're dating a man? Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I was like,
what's happening?
You lay with your head on your boyfriend. What?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I was like, boyfriend? I'm confused. Maybe this is a really old story? And I was like, wait, what's happening?
So funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, that tripped me up at first. It also, though, I mean, I guess just because we read it more recently, the body and other parties or whatever.
Yes,
is that what it's called?
Totally connection. I see that, yeah.
Vibes of that also.
Agreed, yeah, big time.
Yeah, this was a lot more difficult to get through than I thought it was going to be.
Same.
There's really disturbing moments in this book.
Yeah. I found
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, pretty depressing, pretty, ooh, okay, I guess this is what I'm reading.
Yeah. Yeah. Trigger warning if it's tough for you. There's a lot of rape in this book.
Yeah.
A lot.
Trigger warning for rape, trigger warning for miscarriage, trigger warning for, sexual assault in general.
Mental and, verbal abuse and physical abuse. It's all...
Yeah.
It's all in here.
Yeah, that one that you named in particular, that one was really rough. That was a hard one.
Yeah. I couldn't do it. Well, I mean, I read, the first half of... It was also, one of the long ones, too.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Come on.
It was.
As soon as they started describing watching their child...
Get hit by the car.
Get hit by a car, yeah. It was just... It's like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't really do that in books. I normally just, force myself to continue reading. But I was like, no, this is a collection of short stories. I don't have to finish this one if I don't want to.
That's very true, yeah.
I can just go to the next one.
I think it was also really hard because there's already, a ton of physical abuse in that story, too.
Yeah.
So it just felt like a pile-on. And I'm not saying, oh, I would have loved the story that just has the kid get hit by the car. I would not say that. But, just emotionally, it was I'm already feeling this is intense and, hard to read about the physical abuse. And then on top of it, you're also going to add this, and... Of course, it's context and it makes sense. It's trying to make sense of why this character is in this abusive relationship, this weird abusive relationship, but it's still just this whew, this is a lot to take in a story as a reader.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was definitely a lot. I mean, I think every short story definitely had... I don't think that there was a single one where I was like, oh, that was a lighthearted read. I mean, I guess it comes with difficult women. It's not meant to be about, like, nothingness, you know? It's meant to be important stories, but... oh, my gosh. I don't even remember the beginning of this book, I guess. Because, the water, all its weight. That story. Where everything just gets wet around her. I forgot that was part of this book.
That's right.
Everything starts to rot and mold. That was the first one, I think, that was, like, very fantastical.
Yes.
And I was like, should I be reading the first?
Yeah. Well, okay, so that one reminded me a little bit of The Haunting of Hill House with the stones. Remember? The stones that, like, there's no explanation ever as to, like, why the stones are hitting the house and if she really caused it. For some reason, that reminded me. That one also reminded me, there were definite times when I was reading this where I was like, and this is going to sound so full of myself, so please forgive me, but where I was like, this feels like I wrote this in college. Like, I just...
Interesting.
A lot of overlaps with, like, the kind of stuff I was writing in college. Like, really heavy focus on character, not so much heavy focus. It's, like, a lot of character development and not so much, like, plot. Not a lot of, like, plot movement, but a lot of character. And to be perfectly honest, that's something that, for me, like, when I read my writing, I have a hard time because I try to bring more plot in, but I find myself gravitating towards more, like, sort of character study style stories. And then I was sort of recognizing it in some of these stories where there was, like, it was more on, like, creating, like, a character or, like, a world, less so than, like, a whole story. And as we were talking, though, I was thinking about, there is one story that I do think had, like, more positivity, at least at the end, which was the Sacrifice of Darkness. The one with the high towers and the dad, the minor,
that was at the
like destroyed the sun.
End, right?
And then she married the son and the sun.
Which also was like one of those ones where I was like, what is happening?
It felt like a parable.
Yeah, because when he first was like, I need to go up there, I was like, up where? Like, what are we talking about right now? You need to get to the sun? Also, the guy, I know you've met him before. He's worked the door at 389, at Dagger, at, wow, what's her other bar?
You don't even remember. Anyways.
I've been out of Oakland for 3 months, I forget. Everyone calls him Hightower.
Oh, that's right.
He's like
yes.
10 feet tall.
I have met him.
So I kept thinking about him for some reason while I was reading this. I was like, oh, Hightower, perfect. I know what you look like. Not the same person.
That's funny.
That's true. That one did end a little bit lighter. And they do give birth to their child.
That's true. That's true.
Except they almost lose it. Mm-hmm. They almost lose the child.
They almost lose the child. That's true. And
that's right.
It's just like, is this worth your child's life? This lifetime of darkness? Like, get out of here, bitch. Like, what mom's gonna be like, you know what? You're right. I don't think the darkness is worth my child's life. Like, that's, come on.
Yeah.
That's not even a sit.
Totally.
Like, who would even?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, Karen.
Yeah, that is Karen right there.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That one did end better. I liked, the one that was actually called Difficult Women, where it just talks about, like, different sections. It's, page 35.
Yeah, early
on.
Like,
a loose woman. Yeah, it's early on.
Yeah.
A loose woman, a frigid woman, a crazy woman, mothers. I thought that was interesting.
For some reason, I really like the one that came after that, Florida.
Florida? Yeah, I did too, actually.
And that was a place that comes up again and again in Florida.
Yeah, that's true. Also, Nebraska comes up a bunch.
That's true. And the North. What is it? Like, the Northlands.
Yeah. Wait, Okay. I'm going to be very embarrassed. Isn't she from Nebraska?
I don't know where she's from. I don't remember.
Yeah, she's from Omaha. Add to the list of people I love that are from Omaha.
The ultimate Omaha stan, Olivia.
Yeah. Love it so much. I mean, okay, so I'm just looking through the different titles right now. Mm-hmm. And there were some that were lightweight and cute and funny. Like, Open Marriage. And it's like, I think it's like 2 or 3 pages. It's 159. But it's like the guy is like, I think we should open our marriage. And she's just like, sure. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he's like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you want to do it too? And she's like, I'm good, but you can if you want. And he's like really upset that she's not more like interested or arguing or whatever. And she was like, he was a virgin when we met. It's fine. Like, he wouldn't have even slept with me if I didn't tell him to do it. So yeah. And she's like, sure, go ahead. I'm okay though. Like, that was funny and that cute, was a funny one.
Oh my God. That reminds me of that reminds me of in high school. My high school boyfriend, who you know, at one point, like, we broke up, and it was like, it's okay, we're just gonna, like, be real cool with being friends. I'm like, oh, I wonder who can make out with somebody else first. And this is not something I suggested. This is something that he suggested, and I'm like, yeah, let's see. And, like, I mean, just to be perfectly honest, like, it's gonna probably be a lot easier for, like, a teenage girl to make out with somebody, even randomly, than, like, a dude in high school.
Yeah.
Who's a little nerdy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
absolutely.
We all knew how that story was gonna end, but apparently he didn't. But, like, everybody else, like, like, Michael would be like, yeah, when he told me that, I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's going to end the way you want. So, yeah, that's what this story reminded me of.
That's amazing.
Like, yep, this guy thinks he's going to, like, it's going to end well for him, but no.
Yeah. So funny. That's amazing. I did not know that story, and I love that. But, yeah, totally. I was like, oh, that's so good. She's like, yeah, no, I'm good, but go for it.
Yeah.
Like,
have fun.
Good luck. Yeah. Do your best.
There were a lot of stories in here.
I know. I'm, like, realizing that now as I'm flipping through. There are a lot. And
see, like, I feel like that is more like a character study, that one. And the next one, a Pat, the one where she, like, makes friends with the ugly kid.
Yeah.
Like, that's another, like, character study, it feels like. More, I mean, it is a story. It's a short story.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me, though, of, like, that era in the early 2000s when, like, super short stories, like, flash fiction was very big. I don't know if you recall that. Like, 50-word stories. It's, like, a very Tumblr-era. Like, 50-word stories were big.
Right.
And, like, flash fiction. NPR used to do a 3-minute fiction, like, challenge a couple times a year. Yeah. So I feel like those ones definitely remind me of that era. Totally. Which I know this isn't that old, but, oh, well, some of these got published in, 2009 and, 12. So, actually, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because a lot of, I think all of these originally were in magazines and different volumes of...
oh, that makes sense.
Like electric literature and stuff.
I wish I wrote down... I was, like, making the list before we got on to record of things that were repeated. Mm-hmm. And I know there was more than what I listed. I wish I wrote it down. Mm-hmm. But there's so much repeated.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my other problem is that I did... read often right before bed. So when you're like naming stuff and I'm like trying to go back into my brain and remember it, I like maybe shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have read right before bed.
Well, yeah, and I read most of this pretty quickly when I first got it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm also having that moment of like, oh right, I forgot that existed. I did try to refresh a bit, but I guess I didn't really refresh the beginning part. Okay, this is, like, maybe sadness and dark, but, page 241 I have flagged because I've never heard someone, like, write something out that I feel like was me so much. Mm-hmm. But, It says, balloons make me cry, as do marching bands and fireworks. Everything makes me cry. So that was relatable. Mm-hmm. And then it says, like, when I was 5, I was holding a perfect red balloon in a crowded shopping mall. Blah, blah. I accidentally let go of my balloon. And that's, like, why I'm afraid of boats and bridges, is because I dropped a barrette off of a boat. And I just saw it disappear forever. And, like, that's what spawned my fear of that. But mostly, the part she says, I started to understand, because my mother rushed me to the hospital and stood guard over me. I started to understand how much she loved me. And I was terrified to know I mattered that much. And I feel like that is a thing that I struggle with every day, where it's like, it is so scary to know that you matter to people. Mm-hmm. Like, that sounds also, like, kind of privileged, too, but, like,
no.
I've just never heard someone put that into words, and I was like, whoa, yeah, it is, like, scary knowing that, like, you matter to people that much.
Yeah, and, like, a parent's love for you and how, like, all-encompassing and, like...
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, these are feelings that are in my head that I've never been able to, like...
articulate.
Wow. I'm glad you said...
There are a lot of beautiful moments like that, too. Like...
Yeah.
That I definitely didn't highlight or mark.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that either. I also almost said verbalize instead of articulate is
it's
what I was...
It's the same thing!
Yeah, but verbalize is a funny word.
Is it? Verbalize.
Sounds funny to me.
Verbalize.
It sounds like some weird, like, drug that they were trying to sell on, like, an infomercial at night. Like, and buy Verbalize.
You're gonna need some Verbalize.
Only 4 payments of $19.99 plus shipping and handling.
And it'll make you shit your brains out.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Love that Verbalize. There's a lot of sex in here, too. I keep on, like, flipping and
There is
like,
a lot of sex.
Cock.
A lot.
Oh, okay. Wow. Just, like, flip through it. I'm like, woo, okay there.
I wasn't even expecting you to yell that. That was funny. Yeah, no, there's a lot of sex in here. I mean, there's almost every story.
Of sex in here. Have fun.
That is not how I meant it.
This is my favorite book because there's, like, a lot of sex in here.
It's, like, a great book because there's, like, so much sex in here. No.
Well, yeah, there's a bad priest in here, too. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sexy priest. Did you watch,
Bad priest.
Did you watch, what's that show that was, everybody was watching it on Amazon last year? Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh.
Fleabag.
See, that is one of those that I don't know if I watched it. I don't remember.
Oh my God.
I have no idea.
Okay, so I watched it because everybody's like, watch it. And I watched season 1. I started watching it with Michael and I was like, these people are bad. Like, it's hard for me. Like, there's not much endearing about them. I don't like them as people. Yeah. But then I pushed on, and season 2 has the hot priest storyline. And then I was like, oh my God, yes.
Is that, like, a thing you're into? You sound very excited.
It wasn't until I watched season 2 of Fleabag, and then I was like, whoa. It's like...
Okay, good to know.
Just watch season 2. You don't even watch season 1. Okay. Watch season 2, and then tell me what you think. I'm like a doctor. Like, take one and come back. Call me in the morning. Yeah. Watch season 2 and then call me in the morning. Tell me what you think.
Will do. I'll watch that tonight. Expected call at 6 a.m. your time tomorrow.
Perfect. It's a Saturday. I'll be ready.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, wow, good to know. I am not fluent in the bad priest storyline, I guess.
Apparently I am.
I love
Former
it.
Catholic.
I love it. Yeah. There you go. That's why I was raised with no religion at all. So I'm like,
all
what's
of my
a priest?
priests were old men. It's not like I have to think for any of them.
Yeah.
Let's just make that clear.
Yeah. I'm glad you laid that out for everybody.
Yeah, let's just share that with the world.
Yeah.
Definitely don't have a thing for any of my former...
FYI, not attracted to any of my former priests.
Ew.
Just making that clear.
Ew. But the
None.
priest in season 2 of Fleabag.
Are into.
Could hit it. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Mm-hmm. Good to know. Mm-hmm. I'll make note of that. Write that down in the book real quick. Okay, I will say, as I was just flipping through to try and find that story, I saw the I Am a Knife one, and that one was also one where I was like, oh, I could not. I was nearly vomiting. So that's actually another... Venison is in so many stories.
Because of the Great North.
Is that why?
I don't know, right? Like, there's a lot of the Great North, and I don't really know where the Great North is.
I'll have to... I wonder if I can... Yeah, I want to see all the Great North compared to venison. But when he shoots the deer, and then she cuts it open with her nail, and then he rubs the blood on her mouth...
I know.
I was like, no, thank you. No, ma'am. I don't. Ugh.
Also, that story made me feel like I was missing something. Like, what does it mean that I am a knight? Like, what does that mean? I don't get it.
I feel like that was just some of the fantastical stuff. I mean, her nail literally cuts open her sister. It cuts open...
She takes the
deer. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Ugh.
Yeah.
And she just puts it... So she cuts her sister open twice with that nail. Yeah. One time is to put a second heart in her body, so she has 2 hearts.
Yeah.
2 hearts that beat as one. And then she also cuts her open to take a baby out. Mm-hmm. Why are they both barely able to give birth to their babies? What is going on?
Why
does her nail cut through everything? She's a knife, he's a gun. I mean...
Okay, so I'm a knife, he's a gun sounds like that started as like a little seed of like here's a line, and then it was like, I'm going to build a whole story, and I'm like, but it doesn't make sense to me. And maybe I'm just like...
So this sounds like something I would have written in college.
See? You see? Yes, that's how I feel.
Like, one of my sonnets that I wrote probably does have something to do with me being a knife or someone being a knife. Like, I think I've used that in my poetry.
Yes.
So that one I was like, was this like a poem that she tried to make into a short story? Or as, what was that professor's name at Mills? A poem?
Oh, was that...
Juliana Sfar.
Yeah. Poem?
She would always say poem.
Poem?
Poem. She also had multiple husbands, so...
Wait, say that again?
Juliana Sfar had 2 husbands.
Oh, yeah.
They were...
I remember that like, story time. Was it you who told the story time?
The story time?
Yeah, I remember sitting in your living room, and somebody was like, Juliana Sfar has 2 husbands. Let me tell you the story of her having 2 husbands. And I'm like,
it was probably me. We were all very obsessed with that. Until she would bring them to the readings.
She had no shame of being poly.
No, not at all. But I think at the time, like, obviously we all knew about polyamory.
Well, we were all, like, 19-year-olds, like...
Right. But we were like, it's reverse polygamy. She's a reverse Mormon.
When I think about how ignorant we were, it's like I can't even be mad at, like, teenagers for being ignorant. God, we were so ignorant.
Yeah. That's true. But we also went to a lot of those readings specifically because they gave out free wine and dinner cards.
Yeah.
So
wine.
I cannot be judged for what came out of my mouth at those events.
Free food.
Yeah. So into it.
Something great about, like, a free $2 check.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
If I don't have to spend now, what is it, $2.98?
I know, how dare they?
It doesn't even exist out here. Because you can't buy wine at Trader Joe's, so...
Wow.
No $2.
You're missing out. You're missing out on the organic screw top cork.
Yeah, the fancy stuff. as I like to call it. Oh, God. Man. Yeah, anyway, so did this start out as a poem?
Maybe it was a poem.
Then become a short story. But yeah, I was like, the repetition of I am a knife really felt like 20-year-old. No, how old was I when we graduated? 20? Yeah. 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20. I was 21. That's 21. At least. Because I remember I had champagne in my robes.
Yeah, those little sleeves were perfect.
Yeah, they were great for that. But yeah, I was like, this sounds like something that like 21-year-old Olivia was like, and I am a knife. And he was a gun.
I mean, like, I love Roxane Gay, and so it would break my heart to think that, like, this would sound insulting, but I definitely got the feeling like the bulk of these stories were written in an MFA program. Like, they just...
Yeah.
They read to me as MFA program short stories, and I know that sounds so dismissive, and I don't mean it dismissively, but it's just like there's a tone, there's a vibe that is familiar that I just feel like, and I'm
and what is it? Is it that, because it's not superficial writing, it gets into detail.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, what is it that makes it feel that way? I mean, to be fair, that story is still better than what I would be able to write today.
Right.
I am not comparing myself to the wonderful Roxane Gay.
I just feel like it's like a tone of like tortured like protagonists who have experienced trauma and are just like, there's like a hollowness to them in their lives. There's like a
maybe that's it. Maybe it's seeming like that to us because we were like tortured college souls that were like writing dark stuff and being like, we're so deep. I am a knife.
Maybe me identifying that in here says more about me than it does Roxane Gay or any of these protagonists. Embarrassing.
Yeah, maybe it's me being like, I also wrote a book of sonnets about torture and pain and struggling. And substances. Me too. I did that also. I am a knife.
I am a knife. You are a gun.
Oh, I was talking with my grandma the other day and she's like, do you still do your podcast? And I was like, yeah. She's like, great. How can I listen to it? And I was like, well, you either have to like listen to it on like an app, but you can do that on Roku. I gave her my old Roku, so once she sets that up, grandma, so you can listen to on there or just like go to our website. And I was like, it'll be great because we always say like, thanks to our listeners, our dads, and so now I can be like, and my grandma.
As I talk about hot priests. And I definitely did not yell cock in the middle of this episode.
It's fine.
Sorry, Grandma.
No, I'm sure she does not care.
Sorry,
but
dads.
I just thought it was funny. I was like, it's going to be our dads and grandma. No, we do have some various listeners.
Supposedly, yeah.
There was someone in Alaska that was listening to us for a while.
Hey, Alaska friend, come back. We like you.
Come back. Come back, friend.
Come back, friend. Come back, friend.
We love you.
Yeah, we don't just like you. I'm sorry. We love you. Why did I say like? I meant love. We love you.
Rude. She likes you. It's
I like you. But Olivia loves you. But it's because I got a wall. I'm the Bethany of this crew.
Yeah. And I'm just like living I'm the Dorinda. And I have no friends or family where I live, so I'm desperate for love.
Maybe for Halloween, you could be Dorinda and I can be Bethany.
Oh my god.
You're blonde. I mean, you're still kind of blonde, aren't you?
I'm not blonde anymore.
Oh, I thought that was just
Look
your
at
roots.
me. You think I'm blonde?
Well, I see blondes.
The very bottom.
That is blonde. Is that not blonde?
There are pieces of blonde. Pieces of me. in my hair.
I just watched the
Reese's
episode
Pieces.
in season 9 where she hosted the Halloween party, Pieces of Me, great song, and dressed it up as Lady Gaga, and by the
Dressed it up
as Lady Gaga. This Estrella Jalisco is very strong.
Straight out of Jalisco. Sorry, okay, yeah. Right, okay. She dressed up as Lady Gaga.
And then by the end of the night, she was so drunk that, like, all of her little bubbles were, like, popped off. Do you remember that? Did you see that?
I don't remember that, but I'm pretty sure I did see that episode. I'll have to rewatch it.
I feel like a great, like, Hollywood? A great Halloween costume would be Dorinda as Lady Gaga at the end of the night with half of your, like, bubble balloons off. Like, that's a deep cut, but it is.
That is a really good costume, though. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, would you recommend this book?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I would recommend it with the
caveat.
Little asterisk of, can you handle a really dark book that deals with a lot of trauma of every type?
True.
Can you deal with a book that goes over any type of trauma that you could imagine? If so, this is the book for
Here
you.
It is. Here's the book. That's like, they would love that for the blurb.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, like, we read these books with an intention to read them in a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
To be able to record. If I was reading this not for the podcast, it probably wouldn't hit me as hard because I would probably read it over time. Yeah. Read a couple stories here and there. So I think if you're not reading this with like a deadline,
it's different.
It would probably be easier to consume because you can take necessary breaks needed.
I agree.
But I would recommend it. Would you?
Yes, I would. But with the same caveat, with just the understanding that like it can be a little heavy, and you know, if you're sensitive about those types of things, like probably want to skip it because it can be intense.
Yeah, definitely. I gave this a 4 on Goodreads.
Oh. I didn't put it in Goodreads yet. We
did
didn't get
you read
any emails from our beloved listeners.
I know.
I don't know if you're so beloved anymore.
Or DMs.
Yeah, no DMs, emails, and nothing.
Or tweets.
Something, people. Something.
Or text messages from our dads.
Yeah. Damn.
Or our friends.
I don't even know if our dads are listening at this point.
I bet they're not.
So rude.
They don't even care.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, I would give it a 4 as well. I would also give it a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were other things that we talked about doing? Just that, right? Rating it?
Yeah, and a Patreon, but apparently nobody wants it.
Apparently no one wants it, yep.
But we could do Real Housewives on there if any of you housewifers are there. But if none of you are there, so just,
I feel like our Patreon should be talking about TV shows that we're watching.
That'd be sad.
We did our Gilmore Girls rant.
That's true.
2 people on Spotify have listened to our Gilmore Girls rant.
Oh.
So I feel like we could be asking for the moolah for that.
Yeah, if you want to hear us talk about shows, we will talk about shows.
We can definitely do that. Yeah, 100%.
Patreon.
It would give me a justification for the binge TV I've been doing in New York.
That would help. So then we could feel like it's productive. And then I will be like, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't hang out tonight. I need to watch The Real Housewives.
I have to watch it. The people are waiting.
I'm so sorry. I have to binge. I'm so sorry. I have to binge.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I really hate to do this. It's my least favorite thing in the world, but it's a job.
Someone has to do it. Someone has to binge watch it. I'm sorry. I need to give the people what they want. They want to hear us talk about Real Housewives.
I go to the mines every night and I binge watch Real Housewives of New York.
Like the miners, not the minors.
We're mining for Real Housewives gems and more.
Oh, I get it. Nice. That was good.
I don't know if it was good.
Mining for Real Housewives gems. That was good. Maybe I'm just, like, starved for conversation and attention, though. But I think that was good. I think it was really good.
Thank you. You're boosting my ego.
That's what I'm here for.
You keep on putting your wine glass there, and I keep on thinking you're, like, trying to cheers me, and I keep on wondering, like, yeah, cheers. Listeners, she's putting her wine glass on the side of her computer somewhere, but, like, it literally looks like she's holding it up to the camera, to me. For a cheers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, would you like to cheers?
Yeah, I think I would like to cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank
you. Almost spilled it on my iPad. Oh, it does look like that, huh? I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And that's also, like, my glasses over here, so it's, like, right, You're going to
really
reach
looks
through
like
the computer.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to let you down.
I'll be okay.
Well... Great. What are we reading next?
Next, we are reading Shrill by Lindy West.
Woo.
Amazing, awesome writer, Seattleite, I believe. West Coaster, like Moa, and not like Toa.
But formerly Moa. Presently not Moa. Whatever.
Yes. So get it, friends. If you want to discuss Shrill with us, please, please let us know. DM us, text us, email us, call us if you have our personal numbers. If you don't have our personal numbers, don't call us because we won't answer.
It's a good point. We won't. I'm excited for that. Perfect timing for the new season, too, that just came out.
Which I haven't yet watched. Have you?
I did.
Okay. We'll have to do some TV show talk.
Ooh. Maybe that could be our first Patreon episode. It's us talking about Shrill, the TV show.
It's going to happen.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to happen. Great. Yeah, I'm excited to read Shrill.
So, I've read it, but I'm excited to review it and watch the show.
Oh, right. Yeah. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, at drunkthebook, drunkthebook.com. You can email us, drunkthebook@gmail.com. And I think that's it. Let's get reading! And just as a note to everyone, she can't hear me. She can't hear me at all. So I want people to know that right now. Okay.